Hello, my name is Eric Schubert, and my partner's name is Andrew Dwan, and today we are going to be covering a myth. The myth is in regards to vaccines, and the supposed harmful effects they can have. To start off, we have a child showing what evidence there is to support that vaccines cause autism.
Every single bit of evidence there is in the observable universe that vaccines do cause autism is inside of this folder. And I'll go page by page, reading and explaining everything I got in here because it's a lot of information. So I'm going to start right now. This is the... There's nothing. There's nothing.
In today's society, there are a lot of people who feel the need for vaccination is minimal at best. Thus, because of this, many parents have chosen not to vaccinate their children, and this is a major problem for the world. The video just shown was to illustrate how even a child, a smart one mind you, knows that vaccines do not cause autism. They just don't.
Many people cite the lack of effectiveness of the most recent flu vaccine, as new vaccines are created every year for the virus. It is true that there does need to be a new vaccine developed each year. However, that does not mean that it is any less effective as a mode of prevention.
Influenza is a very rapidly mutating virus that is able to easily adapt to its surroundings to promote future survival. This is the key problem at hand and the reason why a new vaccine is developed each year. As the previous year's dangerous strain of the virus is eradicated, a new strain that is able to resist the vaccine grows more powerful and thus takes over. This is an entirely new form of the virus that requires new antibodies and new antigens for your body to deal with.
Because of this, people cannot say that the development of a new vaccine to deal with similar viruses is effective proof of the ineffectiveness of vaccines. When one consults other diseases that have almost been entirely eradicated, it is clear how effective vaccines are. One such disease is polio, which has been almost entirely eradicated except for in third world countries that lack access to the vaccine. Furthermore, it can be seen that in first world countries, only in cases where that person has not been vaccinated. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to have polio. There are a number of additional reasons to vaccinate your child. One reason is the risk you put other people at. There are many people in the world that cannot get vaccinated due to degenerative diseases. If they are vaccinated, their bodies will not be able to defend against the weak strain and thus make them sick and possibly kill them. By not vaccinating, you are risking not only your life, but the lives of other people who are not able to become vaccinated. This is because you will act as a carrier of that disease and will spread to others who cannot effectively combat that disease.
To help drive our point home a bit more, we have a video of Bill Nye as he talks about vaccines and the main causes of death.
This idea that wars or natural disasters, tsunamis, earthquakes kill most of the people, that's wrong. It pales, it's dwarfed by the number of people killed by preventable diseases. This sector represents the number of kids 5 years old and younger that die every year from injuries. This represents the number of kids 5 years old and younger that die every year from non-communicable diseases, cancer, things you inherit. But all of this, most of the circle, is kids dying 5 years old or younger, dying of communicable, preventable diseases. This is where we can change the world. People think that we've been sending money to Africa for decades and nothing's improved. Things are as bad as they ever were. Well, that's a myth. When you can show statistically that child mortality's gone down over the last couple decades by a factor of 2, been cut in half. Those are the data. We have a real opportunity to leave the world better than we found it, to dispel these myths and move on to improve the quality of life of people everywhere. So let's prevent the diseases. Let's address a preventable disaster.
From the video, it is clear to see that the main cause of death for young people is preventable diseases. This should not be the case. Without any question, any parent would say that they do not want their child to die. Thus, it is illogical for them to not have their child vaccinated. As before mentioned, vaccines fight off diseases that could not be preventable otherwise, protect others, and most of all, keep you and your children safe.